They can't see that. They can't. I mean, unless they're looking at the video right now. My secret guest, who's not been announced yet, is swinging a kettlebell.
Easily, may I add?
Oh my God! It's Latino Heat.
Latino Heat, baby.
Welcome to the new studio.
You got to name it.
I'm
my little shorts. Okay.
Oh, do you want?
No, I didn't even think about it until I just sat down. What? I don't give a shit. It's your podcast.
It is my podcast and only my podcast.
This is surprisingly comfortable little couch
For like $150.
We should get one for those two couches. Fucking suck in the living room.
Yeah, but those ones were free.
They're free, and you can lay down. This one you can't really.
You can't. I have passed out on this couch.
Yeah. Here, let me do this for a little bit.
It is possible.
We'll do a little bit of the podcast. Latino Heat, welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you.
There's like an echo in here.
Is there?
Oh, I hear it. I don't know.
I don't hear it. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think of the new studio?
I think it's great. I think it's really smart. This is just a new development in your podcasting career.
Do you think I could get girls to come over and be on my podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could get like 7 OnlyFans models.
Yeah,
in my tiny little room.
You start doing that whatever fucking thing that guy does, where he's like, actually, everything just sucks, and you're like, yeah, fuck you, loser. So
you're a whore. How does that make your dad?
I sell my body for money. What do you not understand about that?
And then they try and get sound clips and own.
So
it's funny because they have to pre-screen them. They have to get the dumbest ones.
They have to get some dumb ones, of course.
Where I'm just like, it's like when you see the TikTok interviews where they're like, name a color, and it's like just clearly a crackhead, and they're like, a color. I saw one of those yesterday.
And they're like, that's what media is now? That's
Vermilion?
And they're like, whoa.
I get correct.
Fuck, all right. You're searching for a good one.
Do you know what vermilion is?
It's like a type of purple?
That's a good guess.
Okay.
Because I don't either. Anytime there's like a fuchsia, vermilion, name some obscure tertiary colors.
Oh, wow.
Lavender. They're always like some
teal. That's Marlboro red.
That's also, all those
Sunburst
are purple.
Yellow.
That's a purple.
Okay. Yeah, it all just falls into purple for you. Okay, it's fair enough. No, I think you can get some girls in here to do your podcast, as long as you don't do air quotes when you say podcast again.
You want to do my podcast?
And she's like, why'd you put the air quotes? She's like, well, it's fun for me to say.
Do you want to do the podcast is what I call my penis.
Wow, it is.
Speak directly into the microphone.
You got to speak up a little more, honey. The level already came.
Test your levels.
Yeah.
How's your Memorial Day going so far?
Fucking perfect.
Did you remember to?
I remembered.
Thank your family members who are in the service.
My brother. I said thank you so much, and appreciate you. Because Memorial Day. No, what's the other one?
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. Memorial Day is the ones that died.
Oh.
Veterans Day is for veterans. So my brother gets mad when I say thank you on Memorial Day. He's like, I'm alive, you fucking idiot.
But you can't thank him when he's dead.
That's exactly my point.
It's like, hey, not for now, but later.
Later. Save it, put it in your back pocket.
When you will die.
When you will die, because we all will.
Because you will before me, because the government put weird chemicals in you.
They put weird chemicals in some syringes they put in you.
When you sign up.
So if you said too many things about the government that were truthful, they'd press a button and it'd make chemicals boil you from the inside out. So yeah, thank you. Thank you,
Diego's brother.
Thanks for
testing out the
assisting in war crimes, I'm assuming.
It's a paycheck.
Yeah, whatever.
Did you ever think about joining the military?
No.
Never.
No. He, for some reason, was on board. He got by propaganda right away. The story my brother has told is, I forgot about these pants.
What about them?
They look like a cartoon's person's pants. Like they're like
I am a cartoon person.
I know.
I wear the same.
He and my mom were walking around a mall before I was born.
What's wrong with my pants?
Nothing's wrong with them. They're just funny.
Why are they funny?
What do you mean? Why are they funny? They're like made out of like sweatpant material. And they're like chinos.
That's not funny.
Or Arthur would wear.
Oh, Arthur the Aardvark. Not Arthur.
King Arthur?
Mac Arthur the human.
No. The legend is my brother and my mom.
Arthur's cool.
No, he's not.
In the dorkiest way possible.
Okay, there you go. Good caveat.
That was a comma, by the way.
Sorry, I always forgot about your silent commas.
Yeah, that's because I open my mouth and I'm like, all right, you're talking. Now land this plane.
You're talking.
I'm literally like 80% of everything I say is I'm watching myself talk and I'm like, all right, let's see how you get out of this one, buddy.
Yeah. I do that all the time when I have to reference a specific person or place, where I'll start the sentence and I'm like, I don't remember what the word is or this person's name is.
You're like, and
by the time I get to it,
Hathaway.
I better fucking remember. Yeah, it's crazy to me how often it's happened successfully.
That's a big. That's basically a mountain when I'm trying to land the plane.
Yeah.
It's celebrity names.
Oh man,
I'm like, it's not Bruce Jenner anymore.
it's not Bruce Jenner anymore.
The other
I
one.
know that. I just haven't logged in the new one.
That's why I can remember, because that person no longer exists. So
Yeah,
it's my brain was like, remember that name. What?
it don't exist anymore.
And I'm like, what's the new one?
Yeah, it's Caitlyn.
Who?
Exactly. Caitlyn Jenner, the most dangerous woman behind the wheel.
So did your brother, was it 9/11 propaganda?
Oh no. So sorry. When he was a little boy, like less than 3, because I was born when he was 3. He and my mom were walking around a mall, and there was like army recruiters walking around the mall.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, "That's awesome. I want to be that."
Was it just a buff guy?
No, it was army people.
Oh, he's wearing he just got suckered
He
in
just
by
got
the
suckered in
clothes.
by the uniform. Yeah.
Oh.
He loves a fit. And,
he would have been a Nazi.
He could have been absolutely.
They had the best uniforms.
The best uniforms. He loves a Hugo Boss, the tapered pant, the epaulets. He loves an epaulette.
Is that the little medals? Or
Epaulette is the thing that goes over the shoulder, the little thing here.
Well, did he get into Boy Scouts?
No, he didn't. Oh, wait. No, he didn't get into Boy Scouts. He got into
We got epaulets.
ROTC.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
And he pulled me into it a little bit. I'm like, I don't like this actually at all.
That's actually, that sucks.
Yeah.
ROTC is really embarrassing.
It's really embarrassing.
That's coming from an Eagle Scout.
Yeah. We would wear, I never got, he got the get up. I never got the get up. We got camo pants and a khaki colored t-shirt with a logo on the back that was a bulldog in camo pants and a army green t-shirt and the hat.
What's the whole thing? It's like you get school credit for ROTC,
I think you
and
get
then
school credit.
you get like a rank if you sign up and join, which you are.
You are. Yeah,
if they get you at like 16, of course you're going to sign up. Where I'm like, I just went camping and got my Eagle Scout. And
Yeah,
I ate food and farted with my friends in the woods, and we told camp stories, and I get one rank up.
Yeah. We
Fools.
We used to spend. I'm gonna yawn. I'm sorry.
Salute to all of our military personnel listening right now.
Fuck
I
you.
I support the military.
I support our white troops.
Not me. I don't think
that's a David Cross joke I'm stealing for. It's funny.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, it's one of her David Cross jokes of all time. All 3 of them. And we would go to the Boys and Girls Club for the summer because it was free.
You could have named the Boys and Girls Club.
You couldn't name it now. It is
2024.
now. It is. It totally fully exists.
That was the Days Club.
Them's Club. The club. We just call it the club now. It's the Facebook meme.
Oh, is that?
No, I'm joking. But they would do propaganda for the children at Boys and Girls because we were disadvantaged youth. Exactly what the military wants to use.
Yeah, that's why the military is so unsegregated. Because it's just poor people.
Poor people. And they
almost got me.
I bet they did. And they signed my brother up at ROTC at the Boys and Girls Club. He's like, you should come do this with me. And I hung out for a couple meetings. And they taught me how to stand and like how to pivot walk, how to like stand at attention and salute. I was like, all right, man, that's where I hang out with my brother. I remember we did one thing where we went to a park. I think it was CB Smith Park in South Florida. What's up? And it was like just marching and standing in attention. I'm like, this fucking sucks. Yeah. This isn't even like fake fighting fun. Like it was just marched. I'm like, hey, what the fuck did I just waste a Saturday for that on?
Did your brother, is he autistic or did he like
I'm sure
did he need structure?
I don't know. I don't know why. Because now he's exactly the right kind of done with the military kind of guy where he's like, I'm into art and I'm heavily tattooed and I like weed and being nice to people. He's like a hippie now.
Like a Maynard James Keenan.
Yeah.
And he's like, he was in the military?
Yeah. You wouldn't have guessed.
I think that happens a lot.
It pushes you so far out of it.
Where you become such a psychopath.
Yeah.
A part of the machine, you're like, I gotta dial it back and discover who I am.
Yeah. Fuck all that noise. No, I never wanted to be in the military.
I almost signed up.
Wow.
It was me and my buddy, and we're like, oh, we have no futures.
Yeah.
Do you want to sign up for the Marines? And we're like, both of us are like, yeah. And then we went to the recruiting place.
Damn.
And we're like, we want to sign up for the Marines. And then they're like, okay, do you have your high school diploma? And we're like, well, that was too hard.
See you later, fellas. Why do you need that for me to die first?
I don't think they need it anymore.
Oh, good. Yeah, they're really getting. They used to be like, you can't have tattoos. How stupid. How fucking stupid. You can't oh no, you can't have tattoos for you to go shoot some children in a fucking faraway land.
I think you can have visible tattoos.
Who gives a shit? Why does it matter?
I think it's like face tattoos.
You should want your military to look badass.
This is one of my arguments about how right wing grifters.
I just noticed the shirt you're wearing.
Oh, thank you. For everyone not only listening, I'm wearing Diego Lopez's "No Violence." Where can they get this merch?
NoViolence.com. KNOW violence.com.
Yeah, I'm wearing your shirt.
A website designed by Mac and a shirt designed by Mac.
And I get zero of the profits. No, the right-wing grifter people will be like, can you imagine they're letting trannies into the military, and they're like there's like the trans generals and stuff, and it's like, we're just the laughing stock of the world, and our standards have dropped. And I'm like, imagine how that looks to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
We let anyone in.
If
you into pup play,
yeah.
If you switch, it's like, yeah, we got 5-star general. It must be so extra scary to them.
Yeah,
like that man, this Navy SEAL peaked masculine, did everything masculine. He's like, you know what?
Let's go back around.
I want to run it back through again as a woman.
Paint my fingernails and wax my asshole for a guy I met on Tinder.
That's how insane the American Army is, and I'm saying insane in a good way.
Insane in a good way.
Insane also, in the membrane, which is the good kind.
Fear. What is fear based on? Ignorance, what you don't know, right? So these people don't know anything about trans.
That's why women scare me.
That's why women are scary.
A trans woman doesn't scare me.
I know exactly what she's going through.
Yeah, I know exactly what
I'm going through.
What equipment you have.
Yeah, exactly.
When I sleep with a woman and I pull down her panties and she doesn't have a penis, I'm like, I'm so scared.
Oh my god, what do I do with it?
What is it?
I'm gonna kiss Homer on the lips. Yeah, the army should be
only trans.
It should be only trans. Let's put them all. There you go. We just developed the trans draft.
Mm-hmm.
But we put them all. No more uniform. America should get scary. We should get Mad Max with our military.
Oh, freeform.
Yeah, get real wild.
Just like a bunch of RuPaul Drag Race uniforms.
Yeah, RuPaul Mad Max situation. A bunch of weird skillets and weird hubcaps on her chest and shit, things like that. And that's cool.
Jojo Suya, basically.
Jojo Suya.
What she's doing.
Yeah.
She should be the next general.
She's pressing the button for the nuke. What the fuck her weird dances?
Or she's like having a seizure.
It's so I'm not a dance guy. I know I can dance. I have rhythm, but I don't know anything about choreographed dancing. That looks like fucking shit.
It is one of the worst dances I have seen, and I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her being drunk at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's really funny.
A lot of people, I think she turned 21.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Jojo Suya is a singer?
Was she on Dancing with the Stars? No, I think I was so curious what the fuck this person was.
Because celebrities just show up.
They just show up all of a sudden. They're like, I got to know this person? And what do they do? Nothing?
It's funny because I was like, oh, this guy must be an industry plant. I told you today. Yeah. And I looked him up and he's been making YouTube videos for 17 years. And I'm like,
wow.
All right.
Never heard of you.
Never mind. My bad. Jojo Suya, give us the rundown.
But she apparently was on Dance Mom. She was a kid in one of those reality shows.
Okay.
She was the child, the dancing, and she had Dance Moms. And then the Disney Channel picked her up and gave her own show. Oh,
the MK Ultra'd her.
Yeah,
she never had a chance.
Never had a chance.
So actually, best case scenario, what she's going through right now.
Kind of just getting a little drunk at 21.
And being a goofy, famous person.
Yeah.
Like when Justin Bieber was pissing in bushes and doing it's he's a kid.
He's a kid with a bunch of money.
The worst case scenario is Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So if you don't do that, then you're succeeding.
You're saying the worst thing is that he could become Michael Jackson or go get involved with Michael Jackson if he were still alive?
Michael Jackson is still alive. And the worst thing is to become him.
Yeah, it's true.
If you believe the conspiracy theories, which I don't. I'm saying that's worst case.
Okay.
Is to
which conspiracy theory specifically do you not believe in with Michael Jackson?
That he did it.
That he did it.
I think he didn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've never seen full like, oh yeah, like it's the best evidence of him doing it is the Cat Williams joke. That's the only thing that has convinced me. I'm like, where the Cat Williams joke is who's I don't know who the other example is. He's like,
I can't remember the joke.
Maybe it just might be him. Well, Cat Williams is like, this is how I know Michael Jackson did it, because at my house I have a bunch of items attract women and get pussy. Like I think he lists like things. He's like, I got this
18 CD changers. Like, women love that shit, dude.
So he goes through all these things, and then he's like, "That's why? Look at Michael Jackson's house. What is he trying to attract?" And I'm like, "That's the best argument."
It's a really good argument.
But I don't think. And Cat Williams is a comedian, and he's just making a funny observation, which doesn't mean it's real.
Doesn't mean anything.
Everything else Cat Williams has said is 100% factual.
Factual.
But worst case scenario is as a child star throughout his whole life, Michael Jackson probably had the worst life.
It's a very interesting. So it's one of, like, if we were to like rank who had the most interesting lives,
I would say Mike Tyson as a human being has had the most interesting life.
Yeah, it's
or
up there.
Arnold.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I think Schwarzenegger might. I don't know, man. Because Tyson has had a harder rock bottom than Schwarzenegger.
And Tyson also is like into mushrooms and stuff now.
Yeah.
So not only has he seen the lowest of the low, Arnold never had the lows.
He never really had his low was that he fucked the woman that cleaned his house.
Yeah, he's had like small.
That's like the height of most people's lives is fucking the housekeeper.
Yeah, he was like.
You have a housekeeper?
He was like,
and you fucked her? That's crazy.
Yeah, Arnold never had a low.
He's never had a low.
He's never actually struggled. I mean, he probably had
his father was a Nazi, whatever. That's pretty bad.
Whose wasn't back in the day?
Whose wasn't if you're in Austria in the fucking 40s?
Whose dad who watches Fox News isn't a Nazi?
That's not Arnold's fault.
So I'm saying, yeah, as a human person, like just the most interesting life, it has to be Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google who's had the most interesting life.
Because Mike Tyson has won. He was like 14, and he just started.
Yeah,
he's already poor and started boxing, and then to become just one of the most famous people ever, have all the money, to lose it all again,
go to prison,
and then like to be one of the scariest humans ever. And then like come out of it and be like, oh, I'm into mushrooms now and I smoke weed and I'm just like this really humble dude.
Man, okay.
And I'm saying like interesting from their perspective.
Yeah.
There's people who outside everyone's like, oh, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast doesn't have a soul. One. I'm saying Mr. Beast.
Absolutely not. You can see in his eyes when he smiles. There's nothing there.
There's zero intelligence. He's just an algorithm operating.
And I think it's easy to be like, oh, he's a serial killer. I'm like, I don't even think he's that interesting.
No.
There's just nothing.
That is, serial killers are interesting.
You can't argue that. If you were on a date with someone and they're like, well, I'm a serial killer, and you're like, that's so fascinating. I'm going to leave now.
I've said that, you've heard me say this. The most embarrassing thing I see on like TikTok Live or Instagram Reels is the dude perfect, like kids sitting like throwing ping pong balls into like cups. I'm saying I would rather have a serial killer child and have to go deal with the like, oh, my life is over, I've like the horrific, like, what did I do wrong? Like, just the rest of my life dealing with the repercussions of that, than ever. I'd rather have a gay son. I'd rather have a thought daughter. I'd rather have every flavor of trans, a drug dealer, criminal, every last horrific like thing you don't want to. I'd rather walk in on both my children having an incestuous relationship than ever walk in on my son flipping playing cards into like a paperclip and going, let's go to like 14 live people, like throwing ping pong balls, like, oh, flipping a bottle or a marker. That is, if I did, I'd be like, hey, I have to murder this child. I have to end this.
Hey, what's the latest I could give up a child for adoption? Like, how long?
No, not adoption. I have to end that's bad DNA, and I need to remove it from the gene pool. So I hate those people.
Mac
I'm not being sarcastic.
I googled who's had the most interesting life, and it's a lot of like people that have had like one very interesting thing happen.
I'd say astronauts.
Okay.
Maybe a president.
But this is a good little thing. Do you mind if I read that?
Don't read all of it. Skim through it.
Really?
Okay, read it.
It's not that long.
It's from Reddit.
Yeah, but it's not that long. It's two
Okay,
paragraphs.
all right, read it. Read it fast, though.
Charles Herbert Lightroller. He was the highest ranked officer to survive the sinking of the Titanic. As the officer in charge of loading passengers into lifeboats on the port side, Lightroller strictly enforced the woman and children first protocol, not allowing any male passengers to board the lifeboats unless they needed auxiliary seamen. I got some auxiliary seamen for you.
He's saving all his auxiliary seamen for the women and children. No, man.
No man.
Just me.
All for me.
We only have enough room for one man to pilot the boat, and that's me.
Yeah, Lightroller stayed until the last moment before he was sucked against a crate and held underwater, but then he was freed when a boiler exploded.
Whoa.
That's awesome. He served as an officer in the Royal Navy during the World War I, and while commanding HMS Gary, rammed and sank German U-boat UB-110, for which he was decorated for gallantry. Later, in retirement, he further distinguished himself in World War II by providing and sailing as a volunteer on one of the quote-unquote little ships that played a part in the Dunkirk evacuation. Rather than allow his small motor yacht to be requisitioned by the admiral for military service, he sailed the vessel to France and back with a small crew and rescued 127 British servicemen. The dude was a certifiable badass. Okay, so he's in Dunkirk. This fucking guy's in Dunkirk, the movie.
This guy was in like he was on Titanic and then like 2 wars.
More?
That is interesting.
It is interesting.
But that's not even top.
Tyson's.
I'm not saying that's not even top 10,000 most interesting guys.
Okay.
It's just oh, you had a very impressive military career.
Yeah.
It's like a fireman being at 9/11 and then also being at what's another fire that happened here?
The Great Chicago Fire.
Like a fireman.
Wow.
You're a fireman. You would encounter that over the course. But to be like, I'm saying like a guy to like go through life.
He's had a
or a lady.
Tyson, growing up in Brownsville, getting arrested for stealing a bunch as a kid. Bumping into basically what was the guy's Bobby Sheridan, I believe the cop's name was, who like sparred Tyson a little bit when he was a kid, and then the cop was like, "What the fuck? Why are you good? Why are you like big and mean? Like it's crazy.
Why are you 14-year-old kicking my ass?"
Yeah, and he took him to did he take him to cuss? I think he took him to cuss. I don't know, but Cus D'Amato, one of my heroes. Yeah, just a really the youngest heavyweight of all time. Goes to prison, multimillionaire, loses it all. I mean, we were talking about this a second ago. Tyson did a one-man show on Broadway, or off Broadway, I guess technically, which was basically him just talking about his life.
Yeah.
And I went to one of the tapings because they did it for HBO, I believe. And it was just like, and I was a fan back then, and I knew a decent amount. But it was like, some of his fucking stories are just like unbelievable. Can I give you one that you might not know?
Unbelievable in the good way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk about something unbelievable in the bad way.
Okay.
Later.
Okay. So Tyson is dating what's her face, the woman he married, and they're having like a fight, and they're on talking for a couple weeks. And then one night, Tyson goes to her house.
Is that the lady who's like, Mike Tyson punched me?
Yeah.
And that's one of the arguments where people are like, she's lying. And she's like, why would she lie? And people are like, if Mike Tyson punched you, you'd be dead.
You'd die.
It's a funny joke I heard.
Funny joke. We're just joking. So anyway,
you would die if he punched you. Do you think he can pull a punch? Mike Tyson, angry Mike Tyson would just be like,
can he pull a punch? Yeah, of course he can. I don't know if he would when he's angry. He has a fucking temper.
That's so scary.
So Tyson
had a temper.
So
this is my podcast. I'll interrupt you as much as I want.
Tyson goes to her house and waits for her. She's not home. He waits for her. And like a little while later, a car pulls up. And is it Vivica A. Fox? What the fuck was her name?
That sounds right.
Vivica A. Fox walks out of the car with a guy, a young man. And the young man was a waiter at the restaurant she was at. She picked up a waiter and brought him home. And Tyson is furious and screaming at this guy and scares the living shit out of this guy, obviously, because Tyson was famous at the time. The waiter knew who he was.
Spouse is Robin Givens.
Robin Givens, that's what it is. And the waiter leaves. And that waiter was Brad Pitt.
Was it?
It
No,
was Brad
wasn't.
Pitt. It's Brad Pitt.
That makes sense for her to be like, I had to.
I gotta fuck this fucking guy.
Look at him. I forgot I was married to Mike
forgot.
Tyson. That's how hot Brad Pitt is.
Yeah, pre-fame Brad Pitt
That's one of those like.
was gonna fuck in Tyson's marital bed. I think.
If my wife
Let me look it
fucked
up on
Brad
this.
Pitt, I'd be like, I get it.
Yeah,
Also, I'm going to cheat on you now,
yeah. I'm gonna get one in.
but I'm going to be mad because the woman I sleep with is not even going to be as hot as
Not
Brad
even
Pitt.
close.
So I'm going to have to cheat on you 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
so it's even. That is a believable story.
After a series of events, Mike Tyson eventually discovered that Brad Pitt had become involved with his ex-wife, Robin Givens. To Tyson's astonishment, he even stumbled upon the Hollywood star and Givens sharing the same bed together. Yeah. Wow, that's so sick. Early Givens claims she ever caught a affair. That's so sick, dude. Yeah, he had that story. He had another story about getting in a really long street fight with Joe Green, I believe the boxer his name was. He had like a Jerry curl, and the guy was like on PCP, you know, a drug that nobody does anymore. One of those things, like a
People still do PCP.
yeah, no, but like not like in the zeitgeist, like it's not
okay,
talked
yeah,
about.
yeah.
But it's a very good show. And a guy, so I told you, this was in 2010 probably when I went to go see the recording of this.
Yeah.
So much has happened in his life since then. Even that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
He's still living.
yeah, he's still
He's
living.
still doing it.
I'm still living, baby.
He's gonna fight a giant YouTuber.
He's gonna find a giant YouTuber
and
on
kill
steroids.
him live on
God,
stage
on Netflix. So I'm at the recording and I have pretty good seats. Like I'm like I think 15 or 20 rows, not like 15 or 12 rows away from the front stage. Like
Can you feel his aura from that?
yeah,
Are you like a little tense?
it's you can feel how nervous he is.
No, but can you like you're like I better not make eye contact with him from the 15th
No, I didn't
row.
feel that. But you could feel how tense he was. And he had to stop a couple times. He was like he fucked up and then had to do things again because they're filming it.
Ah,
And he's like 45 minutes in, and he just stops talking and he's just looking into the audience. He goes, "Hey, yo!" And the fucking guy fell asleep. And he goes, "Well, I'm fucking boring you, motherfucker. Wake the fuck up!" Like he like snaps at this guy, and then like kind of like you could feel him like kind of realize that he's going a little too overboard, and he starts laughing. And like, "Nah, it's all right.
oh,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna kill you right now in front of everyone that I want to kill you."
I want to kill you, but I want to kill you, but I won't. Another crazy guy.
Yeah.
Who? Because if Mike Tyson says any story, I'm like that happened.
I
That's
believe it.
real. Because it's the humility that he has now from all the meditation and psychedelic
Yeah.
drugs. I'm reading David Goggins' book right now.
You're talking about this.
And him going through boot camp it's unbelievable. David Goggins Can't Hurt Me. I'm reading through. I'm like a third of the way through
I
it.
can't believe it.
I cannot believe it because it is the military. I'm going to disparage the military on
Memorial Day.
on Memorial Day because I'm
Suck one, you pawns for the 1%.
It is that thing where I'm like, oh, I can see how this is. It does like it is inspirational.
Yeah.
And like I get it a little, but some of the stories he's saying, it's like clearly, and it's crazy because everyone loves Goggins.
Yeah.
No one ever
Huge.
says anything bad, so I'm gonna get a bunch of haters.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm the biggest hater of them all.
Absolutely number one. Undisputed.
Mm-hmm. He's like telling stories where he's like, I went to boot camp. Like the book begins with Goggins talking about like his really shitty childhood. And I'm like, oh yeah, your dad is evil and like whatever. Like I get it. Like just really rough childhood, watching his mom get beat up and like guns and drugs and stuff being around. And then it like he gets into like how he joined the military and like how he got fat.
Yeah.
And so then he was like, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. And so I have to lose, what did I think it was like,
50 pounds?
He had to lose like 90 pounds in 3 months.
Jesus.
Which is not, it's like, it's possible, but he was weighed like 300.
I'll tell you this. I never seen somebody lose 90 pounds in 3 months.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I'm like, okay.
Was it 5 months?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to lie? Like,
hey man, you're that's the thing. He is incredible.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh, that David Goggins is like a crazy. I see him and I'm like, that guy is a psychopath in the good way, like
In a fucking sick way.
just a specimen, athletic. But like when I'm reading his book, he's like talking about how he's going through the like hell week of becoming a Navy SEAL, and then one of the things is like I not only did I had to get into the mindset of like not only washing out, like I think one of the things he says is he signs up and 2 weeks into the 3 weeks training he gets pneumonia. And so they're like, hey, medical has to send you out. So you got to take 2 days off and it's like, you could start up again, but you got to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So not only did I start up from the beginning, or not only did I watched, they forced me out. It wasn't my choice. I
Not
was
my
stuck
choice.
through it.
That doesn't count as washout.
But it's like, okay, but you have pneumonia and now you're restarting. You still have like pneumonia.
Yeah.
So why would that doesn't make sense? Why you would like? Wouldn't you take like a couple weeks off to heal?
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, nah, I'm so hardened and I'm so fucking tough. So not only did I not do the 3, I'm doing 5 weeks in total, and I'm starting over. And so then it comes to week 2, and I can see the drill sergeant notice me and be like, I'm not breaking Goggins. And I think it's like he says like 200 people sign up, and near the end only like 40 make it, which is that sounds right. I've seen like the documentaries and stuff, and it's funny because like the what?
Buds.
Yeah, what is that acronym?
I can't remember what the acronym is, but that's what the training is. That's what the SEAL training, like, you know, to become a SEAL, you have to go through buds.
Yeah, and so he's doing like the training, and he's
big
like
underwater dick sucking.
Dick zucking. Oh, it's S buds.
Buds.
Is it with a Z or S?
Yes.
Oh, buds. Bisexual underwear, diabolical sizzle. Those are just words.
I like that one. Yeah, that one didn't make any sense.
It started off and I'm like, oh, land the plane.
And you're like, oh, I'm talking again.
But then it like, so halfway through his training, he notices the drill sergeant is like, I'm not breaking Goggins. I'm going to go extra tough on Goggins, which isn't unheard of. I'm like, okay. And Goggins goes, not only am I going to not let him break me, I'm going to break him.
Whoa.
And so he's like,
get tired of talking.
Yeah. His whole plan is like, me and my team, because they like break them off into teams, so like groups, carry boats and logs, and like he's like, not only did I motivate my team, we went in and we stole the plans to like see what the schedule is, so we could. It's like, okay, this sounds like some college like comedy.
Yeah, it sounds like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
like
we
snuck camp.
Which I'm like, again, maybe you did.
Maybe you did. No.
I'm not saying you didn't. That's believable.
Oh, someone stole the plans? Yeah, everyone's out.
So yeah. But then he's like,
we're the fucking military. You can't steal plans from us.
But so then he's like, not only is my team like not, we're so far ahead of every other guy, so that there's like a moment where the drill sergeant is running by him, just by like freeform on the beach, and all the other 4 teams they have to carry a boat, and they're falling behind. It's like, not only are we leaving the other teams in our dust, we're keeping up on the heels and like pushing the drill instructor for, it's like that kind of stuff. And like when the drill instructor's in my face, I start singing. And I'm like, all right, man, I get maybe you did once, but it's like, again, you're the most badass guy, but you're also lying.
Yeah.
And I get you're writing a book, but you should have had someone being like, dial it back a little bit.
What are you, Jay Peterman?
And people are going to be like, I was there. I'm like, okay, yeah. Chris Kyle also told all the truth.
Yeah, he was 100% factual.
Who was in the same exact thing. And I'm not saying being a liar is a bad thing. I'm just saying, hey, you're lying.
Yeah, that's all, exactly. Hey, it's what it is. What it is you're not tricking me.
And that's the problem.
You're not tricking me.
I'm not getting motivated because I'm like,
because now you feel tricked.
You're like, hey, I know. If you're gonna lie about this little thing right here, what else are you lying about?
What else are you lying about? Maybe not even black.
Maybe not.
Maybe you can't even swim. And those 2 things are connected. And I didn't mean to connect those 2.
He can't.
I didn't. Oh, okay.
That was like a big thing.
Oh,
and that was like an interesting part of the book where he was like, I have a real fear of swimming. And he got over that, which I was like, this is all believable and written well. And then the other parts are like, and then I kicked my drill instructor's ass psychologically by doing more push-ups than he thought. And then he'd never seen anyone do as many push-ups as me ever, and it broke him. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you really showed him. Fucking liar. I'm going to finish the book. I wish I would have finished before we started talking about it.
I'm going to finish it out of spite.
That's my lie. I'm not going to finish it.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I'm still going to be fat after I read that book.
That's awesome. And you're like, hey, Goggins, I'm so fat at you. I'm fat at you.
Fat at you.
Yeah, that feel, huh? Couldn't motivate me, you pussy. Yeah, I've seen G.I. Jane. I get it.
I haven't.
Viggo Mortensen's pretty good.
Oh, speaking of movies.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
Well, today we watched
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Francis Ford Coppola's movie.
His first magnum opus.
His first magnum opus. What? No. Apocalypse Now is his first magnum opus.
Oh, I never saw that one. That one was before?
He made that one before The Godfather, I believe. Wait, hold on.
Have you seen it? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but not in a long time. Apocalypse Now. So that's 79. When did Godfather? Godfather was like 78. What the fuck?
Was it really?
Godfather?
So we watched The Godfather all 6 hours. No, the 3-hour version. I don't know if there's other versions. Never seen it before. I've never seen The Godfather.
Never seen The Godfather either. It's one of those movies that's like, how do you not see it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm busy.
I get all the references because I've seen every reference to it in The Simpsons and every sitcom and every like cartoon like reference that movie. And I started to piece together like, oh, that's what happens in the movie.
72.
A bunch of stuff happens in the movie earlier where I'm like, oh, I thought this would be like the end of the movie.
Me too. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is like right away.
I thought the horse head would be like a finale,
Yeah.
like and I thought like what was another thing that happens right at the beginning?
The you come to me, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Oh, that's the whole
the fucking opening scene.
And so I'm watching The Godfather. It's a good movie. I'm saying it's good. I had fun. I'm watching it.
It's 3 hours.
It's 3 hours. I was never bored.
No.
For 3 hours.
Yeah.
I was not bored.
I did not look at my phone once. I put it on the coffee table. I didn't look once.
Very entertaining. Really good. I'm bumping it up from good to really good.
Really good, yeah.
But the way people talk about it and have been talking about it, I'm like, it's not that. It's not. It's not.
Goodfellas is better.
That's what I would say. Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is a better movie about Italians.
Yes, and mobsters.
And mobsters.
And I wonder if it's that thing where I'm like, have I just seen too many movies since that have built upon this?
Yeah.
Is it like, because I'm like, I look at Star Wars, the first one, I'm like, that's a good movie. That's an unbelievable movie.
Mm-hmm.
That still holds up today.
Mm-hmm.
The story and everything, like the special effects, you're like, I see how it's hokey, but like, George Lucas was fucking cooking.
He's cooking.
And this one, I'm just like, I guess, like, again, I'm like giving it a 8.5, 9 out of 10, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. No, I'm giving it 8. I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. 8. But the way people talk about it makes me like, I liked it, but
there's movies that we've walked away from where I'm like, holy shit, I feel different. I feel like I've grown as a person because of that movie. I feel touched by that movie.
That's me every time I watch Heat.
Yeah.
Every time I watch Heat, I gain something new.
Heat rocks.
And so like Heat is a 10 out of 10.
Heat's 10 out of 10.
Goodfellas holds up to the hype. Everyone's like, Goodfellas is good. And I'm like, it can't be. And then I watch, I'm like, oh, that was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
I would say Casino is better than The Godfather.
I would agree. I love Casino so much. For a while, I was wrong, but for a while, I thought Casino was better than Goodfellas. Or actually, I should repeat. I liked Casino more than Goodfellas.
That's fair.
I was wrong. I like Goodfellas more, but for a couple years, I'm like, Casino does something to me that I'm like, I'm fucking so psyched I'm watching this. But Goodfellas or Godfather was very good. Al Pacino was very good.
I would put Godfather at the bottom of the list of greatest movies of all time. Because it's always at the top.
It really is.
And I would just put it at the bottom. It'd be like the opening, like, hey, one of the greatest movies of all time, Godfather. Here's the next 99.
I was going to say next 15.
Oh, you think it's top 15?
I wouldn't be mad at someone for putting in their top 5, but I mean... I
am mad at people who put it in the top 5.
It's just, I really want to watch Godfather 2 now.
Yeah. What if that makes it better?
That's what I'm saying. It might. It might.
And then we have to come back and apologize.
In the way that it's how Kill Bill 1 and 2 is supposed to be one movie.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe it's part of the story, you know. There was a lot of, and I'm assuming this is on purpose because Francis Ford Coppola is a genius, a lot of strange speeding up and slowing down. Like the passage of time in this movie was really hard to like dial in.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes was one afternoon in the beginning of the movie. Like the first scene
is like 45 minutes to an hour, and that's 45 minutes to an hour of time passing.
Yeah,
no, it's like 5 hours.
It's like 5 hours. But then
there's like a 15-minute sequence in the middle that is a year?
A year, I think? Yeah. And again, I believe it's on purpose, but it doesn't, just because it's on purpose doesn't mean I enjoyed it. I was just kind of thrown off guard a little bit, which is fine.
It doesn't.
Pacino's unbelievable in it. He's really, when he goes from the, like how he is in the beginning in the army uniform and the joy and the ease he's talking to Kay to them, then him in like
and becoming a different person.
The like in his face, man, it's really like a beautiful transformation.
You ever see Breaking Bad?
No.
Watching someone slowly transform is basically, that's what I was thinking of. Okay. It's not like Sopranos where I'm like, oh, nothing's changing and I love it. This is perfect.
Same 9 people. Yes.
I hope they make 20 more seasons of this. No, Breaking Bad is like you slowly watch people evolve and like
that's cool.
That kind of stuff. So that's what The Godfather is. It's like watching, because at first you're like, what's this movie? Oh, it's about, that's the actual main character.
Yeah.
I was misunderstood. But I'm like, it's not. It shouldn't be.
We also watched Battle Royale.
And that was another movie where I'm like, if I watched it when it came out, but people don't talk about it in the same reverence.
Not anymore. They did for a while
10 years
there.
ago.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the greatest movie. And
I saw it for the first time like 15, 16 years ago. And I remember loving it. I remember being like, this is fucking awesome. And then last night, and the night before, we watched half and half. We watched the director's cut, which was half an hour longer. And I definitely felt the half hour. In my memory, it was so much faster and it felt so much more violent. This one almost felt like a long soap opera.
It didn't feel as violent because you're desensitized.
Maybe.
And so that's what my theory is. I think when it came out in the year 2000, people were like, holy shit.
Yeah, that makes good sense.
This is insane. You could never show this on TV. You could never make them, but it's like, oh, as I open up TikTok and I see kids dying all the time.
All the time. You ask for it. You beg the government for more of those dead kids TikToks. But, Godfather, very good. I give it 4 stars.
4 out of 5?
4 out of 5.
I give it 4 out of 100. Godfather stinks.
And I gave Battle Royale, I think 3.5.
Yeah, it was whatever.
It was fine. But it was very interesting how much my opinion of it changed. Because like when the other night we were hanging out, and I'm like, oh, you said something about Battle Royale. I'm like, yeah, it's good. And you said something like, oh, you've never seen it, and you're like, no. And I'm like, oh,
you were kind of doing a bunch of, I've never seen this movies.
Yeah.
Let's just bust it out right now.
Yeah.
Last night I kind of watched Space 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, did you?
And I was noticing like, damn, this movie holds up.
Fuck, I need to watch it.
Even though it's boring in a lot of spots.
Yeah.
Like this is, you remember how all those retards when Avatar came out were like, oh my God, it's beautiful. I can't imagine what was happening in theaters when Space 2001 came out. It's like the special effects are insane.
It's so funny because the 2 movies that I haven't watched that were like on everyone's list, and it's like if I mention them, people are like, how have you never seen those? You love movies, and it's got The Godfather and 2001: A Space Odyssey. 2 movies I haven't seen.
Have you not seen 2001?
Nope.
I'll watch it because I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, let's watch it.
I'll watch 2001,
and then that'll be like, I mean, what are the big movie? Oh yeah,
Citizen Kane.
I think I watched it in high school, kind of.
That one, it came out in 41, so I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually like. Here's the thing I hate when people are like, that's the best movie ever. I'm like, you realize that came out 80 years ago.
Yeah.
You're telling me nobody. Like, you can be like, Citizen Kane, really historically important movie.
It's a shift.
It
movie.
should, like, very important, like, unbelievable. But don't come to me and tell me Citizen Kane's better than Clueless.
It's not better than Clueless.
We've evolved.
It definitely made filmmaking jump.
Yeah.
It definitely changed the way people perceived how storytelling could be achieved and how the art of movie making can be done.
What do you think this is?
But here's my argument against it. My favorite movie of all time is 12 Angry Men. And that movie's from 72? Like, it's an old movie.
Yeah, but you like it.
I love it.
Your favorite movie is different than what...
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Than what people
That's
are
a
like-
very good point.
what people are
That's something
like
I've been trying to get through to people with, where someone's like, someone asks me what my favorite something is, and I'll tell them, like, that's not the best, or the best is this. It's like, no, that's subjective. Your favorite is what you should be saying.
The best movie is Speed Racer, and everyone hates that movie.
And it's up to you, and you each have your own. What are some of the other ones? Yeah.
This is Empire Online, and I actually like their list because it doesn't seem to have that boomer rating, that boomer weighted. It still does, where they're like Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Wow.
That's like the best trilogy. Then it goes Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, number 2. Godfather, number 3.
Okay.
Number 4, Dark Knight. No, Dark Knight is not even... Batman Begins is better than The Dark Knight. If Heath Ledger hadn't have died, people would have been like, that was a pretty good sequel.
Oh, you would think that.
I think a lot of it is on Heath Ledger's life. Unbelievable. That's the thing, too. There's a lot of, like, movies, people are like, that's a 10 out of 10. I'm like, no, it's not. That's a 9 out of 10. And people are like, so you hated it.
Okay.
And I'm like, no.
I just said it was a 9.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's not the best. It's not Kill Bill 1.
Oh, man.
It's not The Matrix.
Yeah.
Matrix 2 and 3. Mediocre, still fun, but they're not The Matrix, which is a 10 out of 10. Perfect movie. Shawshank Redemption, that's a good ass movie.
It's a good ass movie.
Jaws, that's pretty good.
No, Jaws is very good. When was the last time you watched Jaws?
A while ago.
Dude, I got in a weird Jaws thing.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction's unbelievable.
That's really good. What's your weird Jaws thing?
I watched it like 4 times one summer. So I was again. I get into these things.
Was that when the sharks were killing everyone?
No.
Remember that summer?
I do remember that summer.
When it was like sharks kill 200 people every year. This year they've killed 201. Even though they kill like 3 people a year.
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War. This list sucks.
That movie fucking stinks.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. All right. Goodfellas. Star Wars. Mad Max Fury Road. There's one you don't like.
I didn't. Yeah. Can we? Okay.
I like Fury Road.
Here's my thing with Fury Road. I saw it in theaters, and I was excited because it was like it looked like a fun movie. I felt nothing. People are like, it's one of the greatest action movies of all time. I'm like, I disagree. I felt like I don't like the idea that Fury Road was a movie where like they have to go somewhere and they realize, oh no, let's just go back, and they just came all the way back.
Oh,
I was like, that's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life.
You never had to do that?
I have, and I've wanted a movie of it. I don't know. It just did. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm not. That's not my argument. I just felt it did nothing for me. That's what
fair.
it is. It did nothing for me. I didn't feel excited at any point. I didn't feel inspired. I didn't feel like yeah. Felt nothing. And not even because they had a female protagonist. That's a fucking lame excuse.
Now it sounds like you're being defensive.
I'm not being defensive. I know where people are going to go.
I wasn't even thinking about the
Of course not, because you're a guy.
No, because the protagonist is Mad Max. That's what the movie's named after.
Mm-hmm. But I just felt nothing. Like, to the point where everyone I see like loves this fucking movie, and I was like, how? Because I don't believe myself sometimes. I must be wrong. So I'm gonna rewatch Mad Max.
I got over that quickly.
Okay.
And because I'm always popping off.
Yeah.
People are like, birthday cake tastes good. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
You just have
you accuse me all the time of having negative opinions just to be different.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I'm like, no, I've been this way since childhood.
But I'm not saying it's a purposeful decision. I think it's just how you communicate with the world is negativity first.
And okay, I've been thinking about this. This is an unformed thought.
Sure. Let's go. That's what Latino Heat's all about.
Is left brain, right brain coming together, Latino style. So what is that? People like to say people who make fun of other people are insecure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
the bullies,
that's like a thing. A lot of people will say, "Oh, you must be insecure because that's." And I'm like, I don't think so. I think sometimes, yeah, like
sometimes
if you're making fun of people, but I think sometimes it's just fun. Like everyone always has like excuses for why people act this way. Like, oh, he bought a sports car, so he must have a little penis. Mm-hmm. And like, not necessarily. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, there are people who exist who are like, oh, actually, the thing everyone likes sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm one of the exceptions.
Okay.
I feel like I'm like, there's just something in me where and it's not just movies, it's everything.
I know.
I'm wired
I live
different.
with you.
I'm wired differently, and I'm just like, I see through a lot of bullshit, and it's a nightmare being me. I would love to be normal. I hate having to see through the Matrix code.
I believe you. I do make fun of you, but it doesn't mean just because it's fun to make fun of you. But there is a type of person who I believe feels 10% of whatever it is. Let's just take your thing for an example right now. They feel 10% and they push it to 30 so they can have a personality trait. So they make it a bigger thing. Like a teenager who has like some angst will then fucking wear mascara and big hoodies because like, oh, it's my personality, and they agitate the issue and they make it worse on themselves. But I'm not saying that's what you do.
No.
But Mad Max Fury Road is unbelievably overrated. That's all I'm saying.
And that's what that means. Overrated is a beautiful term because you're not saying it's bad.
I'm not saying it's bad.
I'm saying, hey, it's not a 10 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, people. I don't know.
Also, everyone's super. I hate when stuff comes out. Well, what's something that just came out that everyone's like, this is it happened right at the beginning of this year.
Everything,
a couple times.
Everywhere, all at once was the one that kind of killed me. Where I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I can't believe you guys like this shit.
That was a big one where everyone's like, this is the greatest movie ever, and it's like, hey. It came out this week. I know you're high, and maybe that's where I'm like, I'm better than everyone because I can take a step back. I have the humility to step back and be like, hey guys, I know we're having fun right now, but let's think about where we're going to be in 3 weeks.
Words have meaning.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's not the greatest movie of all time.
What's the term for recency bias? You have no recency bias.
Yeah, that's a really I have no recency bias, and then old people have it's like they have the opposite.
Yeah, they have nostalgia bias.
The Godfather's greatest movie ever. I'm like, watch it again.
Yeah. People that are like, no, everything from my time is great. Everything before and after my time, so it's ego. You're literally just letting your ego make decisions for your aesthetics.
And you know what I've said? I have the perfectly sized ego.
You have said that, it made me start crying because it was the most beautiful and insane sentence I've ever heard in my life.
And I wasn't being sarcastic.
It came out. Nothing has ever come out of you more naturally than that sentence. It poured out of you like every cell in your body has been saying it in a metronome style repetition, and finally your voice caught up.
And it only can if you have that's a thing that can only be true if it is.
If it is, yeah.
You can't just be like, I have a perfect sized ego. People are going to be like,
no one would even think to put those words together.
If your ego's too big, you'd be like, no, I gotta make it see. And if it's too low, you would never even.
You would know.
That's why I also have a perfectly sized penis. Or every woman tells me the big ones hurt.
The big ones hurt, and the little ones upset me.
Same with egos. Read into that how you will.
Read into it and weep. But I'll watch Furiosa if you put it on the Plex.
Shut up.
Something happens digitally.
We legally are legal Plex.
Legal Plex server.
Which is funny that Plex is like legal.
Yeah.
It's like a legal app. They're like, yeah, use it to watch your legal movies. And it's like, no one's doing that. You're retarded.
Nobody's doing that, idiots.
It's one of those things where like not a single person, It's
because it's hard to explain technology to governors. They don't get it. But I'm not gonna go to the theater unless you want to go, and then I'll buy us tickets.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to. I go to the theater once a year.
We had an okay time. I had a great time. We saw Dune.
Now that your recency bias is gone, how do you? I
watched Dune last week.
Again?
Yeah, I wanted to check my recency.
Was it better or worse? Or the same?
I think it was about the same. I think it was a little better because it was easier to watch. Like that screen is too big. I wish we could have sat further back. Mac and I saw Dune 2 at IMAX Theater, the only real IMAX theater in the country, to my knowledge. Like there's a whole thing like that's the only actual one.
What does that mean?
The actual
They're
size
all real.
specifications. the specifications
I know,
that
but
they
it's like
expect.
the biggest one, or
It's like the standard size.
Or it's
like,
the exact size? Because are there some that are bigger? That's
they're smaller. It's the biggest one in Lincoln Center. It's fucking too big. It's too fucking big. I realize why. It's like you're looking at a screen. You're like, it feels like it's this close to your face. So I watched Dune 2 in the living room. It's good. I enjoyed it. Like I told you, I didn't love Chalamet until he's in that scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think he did a good job of portraying that transformation of a stuck-up, shy, kind of like insecure prince role to like, oh, I'm going to take control of my destiny. I'm going to be the thing that people believe I am.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting. Is it the greatest movie of all time? No, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
People already stopped talking about it.
Well, people talk about new things.
I know, because we're still talking about Godfather because it is actually good. No one's going to be talking about Dune next year.
Interesting. Okay.
Possibly.
Possibly.
That's why I'm like, Godfather. It is a good movie.
It's a good movie.
I liked it a lot.
It really felt like 3 different movies.
Yeah.
It really felt like 3 short films put together.
I was never bored.
Never bored. And again, here's my test with movies lately. If I'm about 15 minutes in, am I excited? Because I've watched some movies where I'm like, this is fucking gonna suck. Like I knew it from the jump.
Oh, I've had that forever. I do that with like music, TV shows, TikTok videos. I can tell
within the 2 seconds
with the first frame. I'm
wow.
like, there's like 10 different things where I'm like, I know this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, you're fucking scared.
And then I've actually like skipped them, and I'm like, they might be doing a joke about pretending to be bad. And I just go right back to and like, then I see them do the joke. I'm like, yes,
I can even spot that.
I can spot the fit. But like with like music, you're like, all right, you've done 8 bars and you're not evolving the song.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to listen to there's a lot of, and people hate, like you've seen me watch YouTube videos. I'm like, it's not going to go anywhere. I can tell that it's not going to evolve. That's
because it does get a little almost nauseating. The speed of which you watch things and how much you'll back out. It's like, just let one fucking thing play.
And I'm like,
but I got to respect your ability to read the what's coming out.
I wish I could read people the way I can read media.
Hey, there you go.
I wish I had people literacy.
There you go.
I'm talking to a girl and I'm like, are you horny or mad at me right now?
Or both.
And what I'm about to say gonna flip the switch?
Yeah, who knows?
Oh.
I hope not.
Yeah, I apologized to a girl last night and she's like, why are you apologizing? I'm like, I don't know.
I actually am not sure. I just felt like it's been 8 minutes since I apologized the last time, and I'm certain I have said something that upset you in some way.
And she's like, no. I'm like, my bad. Ignore what I just said.
Then continue.
So
hey, you know we're all
should become a director.
Ooh.
Okay,
write a movie.
Give me a script. I'm not a writer. I said
true.
Director.
That's right.
I would be a fantastic director. Yelling at people, what the fuck are you doing? Ruining my movie that some other guy wrote.
Some fucking other
some guy paid for. This is my movie.
Yeah, you're shoving interns into one of those mechanical like claw things that's like constantly rotating. We spent the budget on that fucking thing, so I hate you interns.
They noticed how perfect my ego is, so they gave me the director chair. That's why my name is on the back.
Mm-hmm. The God mic is both because everyone can hear it and because I'm talking.
And I'm God.
And I'm your God.
We're all gods, but I'm the God of gods.
Ooh,
that's what people say. They're like, we're all God. I'm like, whatever.
People say that?
Hippies.
Oh, I hate hippies sometimes.
We're all like, we're all.
And by sometimes, I mean always.
Yeah, hippies ruin everything. Hippies are a CIA operative to make you hate left-wing politics.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely true.
To make you hate smoking weed. Weed sucks now because
so lame.
People made it their personality, made it lame. You're supposed to smoke a little bit of dirt weed that's not that powerful.
That's not that
once
strong.
Every
6-7 weeks.
Whatever, yeah.
Whatever.
Back in the 70s, how it used to be.
It's a little bit of grass. They call it grass because it's fucking shit grass.
Yeah, then now people like Snoop Dogg and Seth Rogen have ruined it. Made their whole personality. Anyways, I think that's the podcast.
That's a fucking podcast, man.
Smoke weed every day.
How about you fucking check in on yourself every day and stop poisoning yourself with nonsense?
How about you think about how shitty your ego is
Ego
while you smoke
death.
weed? Did you kill your ego with jujitsu?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good way to do it.
It's one of the best ways to do it.
I would say.
And the real ego death is knowing you cannot succeed at ego death. Because if you think you have succeeded in ego death, you will stop attempting to kill your ego. Ego death should be a constant maintenance.
Oh.
It's always recharging. You have to.
Your ego is growing.
Always. If you are not making efforts to work against your ego, you are letting your ego succeed.
And that's the podcast, everybody.
That's podcasts, everybody. Follow Mac at Dr. MacArthur.
If they're listening to this already, follow me.
That's why it's funny. Follow me at this Diego Lopez and go to noviolence.com.
Buy yourself some merch.
Buy some merch of either No Violence or Nia Lift.
I like that.
My exercise thing. Also, if you want to join my kettlebell Patreon, it's $5 a month for 4 30-minute follow-along workouts a month. It's an unbelievable deal. You get one kettlebell. I teach you how to use it, and you just follow along. You don't think. You don't write anything down. You just listen and do. Obey and love me. I'm starting a cult. Love me.
You get in shape.
And you get in shape.
Show me your abs.
Not right now.
Oh, okay. Do you have them?
Never abs. It's just bad lighting for abs.
Oh.
I know. I know it. You have to turn that light off. Overhead lighting is good, but that light's... I'm too pale. It makes it look like a blank slate, and people are like, what the fuck?
Why don't you tan?
That's a great question.
Like, can you tan?
Oh, can I like get in the sun and get a tan?
Yeah.
It takes I have to do a lot of small, like half hour, 1 hour. But like during the pandemic, we were working out on the roof all summer. I looked fantastic because of how much sun I was getting. Because it was only half an hour to an hour at a time. If I go to the beach for like 3 hours, I get burnt, and it's a nightmare.
Do you know how dark our friend BK Sharad is?
Yeah, he's brown.
He's Indian. I've gotten
close.
darker than him.
Wow.
And this is the end of the podcast, so I'll just say I spent 2 weeks in California when I was a teenager, being like a beach bum, just going to the beach every single day. And then I came back and helped my dad roof for 2 weeks. So I spent 4 weeks, 8 hours a day in the sun. And I went from what I am now to... I'm going to say black. I basically was like I wish I took
like
more
Wesley
photos.
Snipes.
I need to find a photo. It's insane.
I bet. Dude.
Like, it's with a bunch of my Mormon white friends, and like you can't see my face in the background.
The contrast is insane.
Anyways, that's the podcast. Thank you so much. Bye.